All right, let's get started. So, I did the stream yesterday, and um, turns out I had some issues um, with the Haiku installer and stuff. So I have uh, figured out where I had a spare SSD, and then I am now using it over um, USB 3 because Haiku has issues with the SATA ports on this board. So um, just powered on. There you go. Should see stuff some in a minute or so. Why is it not coming on the capture card? I can see it here, and let's see. Oh, there it is. Right. So first order of business: disable the SATA ports. Not going to use them, and then save and exit. And the other thing we have to do in order to use that USB 3 drive over SSD is to boot in legacy mode. So I cannot use the UEFI stuff, and we'll just boot this, and this should get us proper into Haiku. Haiku still has some issues with one of the USB ports on this board, and it was not just Haiku; it was, I think, Open Indiana as well, which was complaining about the exact same thing. So something fishy is going on with the SATA and USB ports on this board. I'm not entirely sure, um, because that can't also be entirely like disabled. The SATA can be, the USB. It's kind of hard to disable all of it. You can disable some of it. So yeah, yeah, there it is. It's booting, and we can run the installer once it finishes booting up. Which brings us to here some, yeah, I think I started it over the USB drive, and I do not seem to have any mouse control, which is always fun. There we go. Let's see if we have an installer here. Try setup. There you go. No partitions found. We need to set up partitions. So this is our drive. And for those of you who are thinking that maybe 120 gig or 110 gig is a lot, I'm planning on doing something special with Haiku and use it a lot more. All right. Wait, what? Right, how are we supposed to partition this thing? Hmm. And then if we go to here, install from and on to, now I need to set up proper partitioning. Um, the question is, if do we create a FAT32 partition? FAT32 2.81 megabytes. Let's shave out some here, and that should be enough. Think so. And create, right, changes, I'm not sure why I um, what we can do actually if it's using the MBR partition scheme. No, no, it's not. And then I'll just create this as FAT32 active and right. What is A mapped? LBA mapped. Okay. Mm, cool. Close that and then on the target. What did we need to write it or something? But set this as hmm. Not sure why it's not happy with it. Does it actually just need guided partition? And will it be happy with that then? What the disk has to say. And can we do the same here? Create and write changes. So that's our, I don't know why it didn't take the name though. That's our BE file system. And then create will give it nothing, and this will be bias boot data or MBR partition nest. Now I'm confused. Create. But we cannot boot from EFI format. FAT32 continue. It's not good. Any name? Let's go FAT16 and format. Right, changes. Okay. Disk rescan partition. I don't know if it will be pleased with this. It's only showing the 800 megabyte FAT32 file system here now. Format, continue, format, right, changes. Because I think that should be good for us. Not sure what I'll do with this, but and here now it should come up. There we go. And I don't know what all optional packages we can install. Everything's set up, and then we can just begin now. So I hope this boots though. I think we are done. Now we just reboot as far as I'm concerned. Shut down and power off. Let's wait for it to shut down properly, make sure everything is synced on the disks. Now that the installation is done, I'll power it off and try to boot. Not sure if it's going to boot, but should be fun. But then again, SATA stuff needs to be disabled, and that's kind of a bummer. All right. So we don't even have that, so we'll just go with that. I hope this save changes and reset. I hope this boots. Nope. Think we messed up the partition somehow. I'll have to look up the exact partition scheme. Hmm. Should have two disk. Ta-ta-ta. So preparing partitions. Hmm. It should have booted. Not sure what happened. Maybe it's because I did GUID and we do MBR or direct BEOS. It might work. So I think we should try the MBR stuff first. Um, okay, so let's boot with Jet Flash. Save changes and reset. While that's booting, let's see what else talk about. Hmm. Alright, let's try this again. Um, Applications and installer. Let's continue with this. Okay, set up partitions. This thing somehow got set up as just GPT, and this is not the partition scheme I'm using, so not sure what happened here. And let's format that. Initialize Intel partition map, continue, write changes. Alright, and then rescan because that's not showing the correct partitions. Okay, and continue, format, write changes. uh, okay, let's initialize it with Intel partitions. Okay, so this is the older partition scheme we just had, and yeah, it's not partitioning it properly. So I think I'll remove the disk, partition it at least somewhat on my desktop, and then because I think it's getting confused between other partitions that are already on here. Okay, let's plug that in. It shows up as heck. Um, SDE. So sudo wipe fs SDE, and okay, all right. That did stuff, and then I can just add format disk to mbr, and that's done. So sync and eject, and then I can directly go into Haiku and just create the partitions from there on. I don't think I will need a FAT32 partition. Set up partitions. The disk I cannot see yet. Rescan, nothing. Do we need to reboot? Not sure. Uh, there it is. So now I just set this up as BE file system, set it as active, create, and write changes. And then this, I can not file system, actually I can format that to BE file system, and format, write changes. That should be it. Close that, select this, everything else is selected, and I hope let's see, tools, set up boot menu, drives, install, next, next. Right, I think I had forgotten to do that. Next, next, right, boot menu. Done. Right, so yeah, I had forgotten to do that. Now it's working fine. Cool. Should boot now. And now I did something weird with it. And then right boot sector, and then I can begin the install. Oh, why would you do this to me? Set up partitions. Why is this mounted? Unmounted. Um, Delete it, and then change. Change. Actually, not sure what I'm doing, but hmm. Yeah, it writes files to. Yeah, not what I want, but it will now say it cannot do it, and then just unmount this, format it, then step this tools, set up boot menu, this install. Hmm. Let's see if it works. Wait, I'm doing fine. Lots of power cuts, so right now I'm just sitting in a hot room. It's a mess, but yeah, going by, I guess. So here is our installation drive, and then if I can go and do right sector, it does that happily. And if I go set a boot menu again, it does that happily as well. I don't know why I'm doing these things over and over again. Maybe I'm just paranoid, but quit because all the installation was done. You have your system and everything here. So let's go and reset, I guess. No face cam today. All right, let's see if this thing works. And there you go. So that is working, I guess. Press enter and it should boot us into Haiku proper. So let's see if it actually does. And there we go. Looks like it is working for us now finally. Installed on my external drive and all functioning. You have your CPU load stuff here. You can see all the threads, you can see all the usages and stuff like that. You can even see a lot of other debug stuff. And yeah, I mean, there you go, it's working. um you There's a lot of things to do around. um Eventually I'll start some coding demos on it because it's not that difficult and the tools are pretty similar. They do use GCC, they do use other stuff like that. um so it also has like uh mesa for graphics, so like the actual graphics themselves don't work, like the 3D rendering, but it does it over software. So it's not super fast, but it exists. Like you can do OpenGL and stuff like that. Like there's an existence of OpenGL, but like not hardware accelerated. So either way works fine for us. And there's screen, I guess. Yeah, it's actually showing my capture card there, and then network works preferences. There should be a browser somewhere that can go to some website. I think it's the web positive browser. I think you can even get like Firefox for this, and that usually works fine. Let's see if Firefox is available in their app, um, like Haiku Depot, which is like their app repository. So you can go to like youtube.com and that should work for us just fine. I mean, it's kind of slow, but it's also like works fine. I'm pretty sure these demos are taking a lot of CPU resources, so I'll free that out. And of course, the trending page of YouTube India is always in a complete mess. There seems to be an Arduino IDE as well, funnily enough. Um, so I don't see why not. We can install it and try. Not sure which version of it would be. Probably some older one. And apply changes. And then so that means they got AVR GCC working, which is always fun. And let's see if we have Firefox. No, not in the packages, at least not in the featured packages. No, okay. So these are the different packages relating to browsers. Not sure which one. So there's a Qt WebKit, there's NetSurf, and then actually there's NetSurf. I think that's the main one that everyone uses here. No Firefox. I'm sure you can compile your own or something like that. Um, yeah. Like the trending page is absolutely horrible. Don't want to like show you guys that, but let's see. Anything remotely of my interest? I don't think so. Yeah, it's all crap. Yeah. Okay, let's do. It's still downloading stuff there. Um, so here's the devices list that you can see all the devices that it detects. So it's all under ACPI and then bridges. ACPI basically gives it's like a device tree for most x86 stuff, and so space CPU one and then bunch of other stuff all over the place. There's nothing basic or detailed in there. Like CPU 0, it's just CPU 0. More interesting stuff will come post ACPI. Uh, there is an ISA bus on this processor. So for some reason, a lot of these experimental OS show it as a Atom Z36 series, and one of the reason is it actually is sort of a rebranded one, a bit more souped up, but it's actually a Celeron, and so it just says yeah, it's no other information on that. I think that just for like the PCI specific stuff, display controller again shows Atom. It's not really Atom, but and then encryption control and multimedia control and everything is just out of Atom for some reason. Um, and I have a call up there. Very um, yeah. So I guess that's it. Just waiting for Arduino ID to download, and from there we can like just call it a day. I guess it's yeah, no electricity deal is not helping today. I actually don't know if OpenGDK works on Haiku. There's a question in the chat. I will have to search for it. I'm actually searching for Open Arena right now. But we can search for Java. And what results do we get? Not much. For OpenGDK, Ada Clutter, we have Doxygen, we have JavaScript stuff. Surprisingly enough, uh, we have some other. Yep, we have JDK. So yeah, OpenJDK works. We have OpenJDK 11 on there. So you can download OpenJDK and do your OpenJDK things. We have Python on there, and of course, your usual C, C++, and everything else should work. But we have Python, not sure too, and then we have Python 3 as well, 3.7 and 2.7. So pretty up to date on that. And then I think 3.8 is not the default Python 3, um, and that might come later on. Uh, Yeah, so in the coming days, I'll probably like sit around and play with all of those things on Haiku. Uh, might be on longer streams than usual. This has been going on for around 40 minutes, which is not super long, but maybe I'm talking like 3 to 4 hour long streams. Almost done with the Arduino install, I hope. I think we are done. Yeah, someone says do something. Yeah. Um, let's see if Arduino is now available. I can see Arduino ID. Let's open that up. I don't see anything. Come on. No windows. All right. That bit. Oh, there is without any fonts. That's funny. Oh my god. Ah, ah. Okay. I think I need to install a bunch of fonts now. This is funny. Um, fonts. Someone's at the door. I'm not going to open it. Yeah, not sure what font you want. I think free type. It's installed already. Okay. Not don't show me install then. Um, yeah, I'll have to figure out which font it requires and then install that. So I'm kind of going to cut short the stream. We did install it and we did figure out a bunch of stuff. So yep. See you all later and see you all in a different stream sometime soon. There's another OS I want to experiment with, and I am mostly prepared to play around with that as well. So I will see you all when I stream sometime again. Yeah, I don't know what the timing of these streams would be. I want to do one that's not so early for me and not so late for everyone else. Like very less people have joined. Um, and I will see you all in the next one. We'll see how and where we can do the rest of the streams. Bye.